Good morning, everyone. Jim Laird here from Largo, Florida, sitting out here on the pool deck, returning to the pool deck after our little flirtation with the hurricane. It kind of just buzzed us a little bit. Morning, Dr. Stillman.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning, Jim. How are you?
Great. So we've had a couple announcements. One, we've delayed. Originally, we were going to cut off the sale to the thyroid course tomorrow. Right. But because of the kind of chaos, we're lucky here. We didn't have a lot going on, but there's a lot of flooding in Florida. There's a lot of flooding throughout the area. We have a lot of people that follow us in these areas. And so we're going to extend it till Wednesday. So there's a link down below if you want to join the thyroid course. If that's a little out of your budget, of course, there's always the fundamentals of wellness, and you can always use code JIM, all caps, or Stillman, all caps, to get 10% off. The other thing we've got going on is we're releasing a new men's executive coaching program. You don't have to be an executive to be in it, but basically if you're a guy and you want to up your game, you're struggling, you're burned out, you're not in a good place, you've tried all the things, we will help simplify that for you. The reason we're doing this is because we have that offer in the medical side, but we just don't have the capacity to take any more people on in the medical practice. And if you get to these courses like the fundamental wellness or this course in general, that fast tracks you, because in the future we're only going to take, I believe, we're only going to take people in the medical from the coaching programs. Is that correct, Doctor? That's correct.
Basically, yes, because there's so much demand. And what people need to know is that, because we see a very interesting trend in that people are very resistant to joining the coaching programs versus the medical programs. And the big misconception that people have is that they need lab testing and medical care more than they need coaching. And we've just found that over and over and over again to be untrue. You know, it's very typical actually for us to take on very, very well-educated, highly driven people who know a lot about health and fitness and wellness. And we find tons of problems with their diet, their lifestyle, their thinking, and then we actually help them fix those things.
Right.
Rarely does that actually require a prescription. And that's a really important point that I think I actually want to reassure people that they need the coaching more than they need medical care. And a big
so
part
we're
of
actually
that, I was just going to say, a big part of that is that people don't realize that a lot of what can be done in a coaching program is helping you understand how to access the medical care that you need. Like Jim tells a great story that we should probably do a live on, Jim, where, you had a woman in your gym who was having back pain and you properly referred her out for imaging that then discovered a cancer very early. And, if somebody has something kind of concerning finding, right, that, we can talk about on a coaching call, if I see something as a doctor that's alarming, just like if Jim sees something that's alarming as a strength coach, we're going to tell you who to go see and how urgently to go see them. Even though we're not medically treating you,
Correct.
So that's the power of the coaching.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing too. Like, obviously we're a business. We're actually selling you something that is cheaper because the medical program is more expensive, because we think that's what you need to actually get better results in the long run. So it's kind of we're actually giving you what you necessarily need, but giving you what you want at the same time, because people love labs. They love all those things, and we can guide you through that.
Right. We can. And we're going to be doing do you want to plug our upcoming webinar, Jim?
I'm going to tell them about the fact that I can do that. Yes. We are going to be doing actually all the webinars we're going to do from now on. Like we film a lot of our course material on Thursdays at 10 a.m. Right. And so starting next week, like right after this, essentially. So starting next week, we're basically going to allow you, if you're on our email list, to reward you for being on our list. And like Dr. Stillman and I have a huge passion. We understand people are hurting right now. The economy is an absolute shambles. We won't get into that, but people are struggling. We want to help people, as many people as possible, become like strong, independent thinkers, taking responsibility for their own health. So what we're going to do is every Thursday at 10 a.m. Eastern, we do one of our webinars for the courses where we do new courses, things like that. If you're on the email list, you'll get a link from StreamYard. And obviously we don't stream these to all our platforms, but you'll be able to join us on those webinars for free. And you'll be able to watch watch live while we film those as our gift to you. So if you're not on our email list, just go to stillmanwellness.com. There'll be a pop-up, the 5 biggest mistakes, health mistakes we see. That's going to obviously put you into something to promote the fundamentals of wellness, but that'll get you on our email list. And the only way you'll be able to access this stuff is either if you buy the courses or if you tune in and watch it live. So we'd love to have you on the live stream. What webinar are we doing, Doctor?
I think the first one we should do is basically how to get your labs for less.
Okay.
Yeah. Because I think people, one thing that I find very disgusting, I don't know, it's not disgusting. It's just, I find it very sad that many people are being gouged for their labs. Like, I'll never forget this. I had a conversation with a patient who told me that they spent almost $100 on a lab that I knew the wholesale price for was $250. And so, people, you yesterday, actually, even you said to me, you said, hey, aren't labs from this place or that place that you can buy online without seeing a doctor, their prices are great. I said, Jim, no, the wholesale prices for these things are even lower. They're making an insane markup on these labs. And I have no problem with capitalism. The market will bear what the market will bear. Tragically, we live in a very crony capitalistic state where the reason these labs are inflated in price is there's so much regulatory burden. There's so many evil people who are exploiting the medical care shortage, exploiting the just patients, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I want to help people understand, on this webinar, how do you navigate around that? How do you navigate this corrupt system without being taken advantage of? Because lots of you out there listening to this, you have, real problems or concerns, and you want to get the labs done, and you don't necessarily have all the money you'd like to in the world to throw at these labs. You should know and deserve to know how to get them for a reasonable price.
Absolutely. So that's going to be our topic next Thursday. So if you're on our email list, you'll receive an email from us, probably the day before or the day of, that basically says, hey, come to StreamYard. You'll register for it on StreamYard, and you'll be able to be on that. You'll be able to be on that webinar, which is going to be part of the course. This isn't going to be a webinar to try and sell you anything. It's basically going to be part of the course, and we're going to do that every Thursday from now on. So you want to be on our email list. Make sure you opt into that. Just go to Stillman Wellness, put your email in the opt-in, and you'll be set. And then there's a link to the men's coaching program to book a call with Eric in there. And of course, the rest of our offers are in there as well. So the topic for today's discussion brought to you by vidIQ AI, just to be fully transparent. The really AI thing isn't scary and kind of but really kind of wild at the same time, because it used to like thousands of dollars to have. I see my internet's being iffy. It used to cost us thousands of dollars to have someone go in and analyze like your YouTube channel analytics and stuff. But this thing suggests a title based on Dr. Stillman's YouTube analytics in like 30 seconds, right? So the topic for today: how to manage stress. 3 simple techniques for every day. And both Dr. Stillman and I, we see chronic stress in our modern world just wrecking people, And so basically, I'll give my 3 simple techniques for everyday stress relief, and then Dr. Stillman can give his. The first one is our main fundamental habit, which is walk outside 3 times a day for 10 minutes. It's going to get you out in the sun. Getting out in nature helps you relax. The walk is supposed to be breathing through your nose, more an observation exercise. This helps manage everything under the sun. We've talked about this verbatim. The second is breathing through your nose whenever you can throughout the day. Like Dr. Stillman right now, he has his mouth closed. He's breathing through his nose. He's in a relaxed state. When Dr. Stillman is speaking, my mouth is closed. I'm breathing through my nose. When you're driving in your car, when you're in Publix, when you're in Whole Paycheck, or wherever you are, the tongue is in the roof of your mouth. You're breathing through your nose. It's going to keep you from over breathing, which is going to keep your body from revving up. The third is some sort of mindful meditation, preferably somewhere really quiet in nature. We've both used the Roy Masters. So you can go on YouTube and type in "Be Still and Know Roy Masters." It's a 7-minute meditation. It's really simple. You can use a Headspace app, anything like that, where you just sit quietly and observe. That's my 3 biggies. So, and all of those are very practical. A lot of these stress management things that people give or get require a lot of work, where these things are just really simple. And over time, they're going to make my super hack would be float tank. Get one float tank session in a week. It'll change your life. Right there.
Yeah, I'm here, Jim.
It's your turn.
You broke up there for a second. Jim.
My internet's being silly. Your turn.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and give my my 3 top tips. So the top one would be, and I feel like Jim and I talk about this so much, but taking a walk. Every single day, I start my day by taking a walk. I drive to the beach. I get my coffee in the coffee shop. That's actually part of the stress relief process for me in that morning routine, is that I go to the same coffee shop. They know my name. They know my drink. There's something about having a little bit of social interaction in the morning that I find very, important. Because after that, it's pretty much all business until the evening, right? And so this is part of why I say to people, you need to have a social life. You need to have a community. Even if it's just simple things, make actually a huge difference in people's mental health. Having a coffee shop, a bar, a watering hole, a lunch spot where they know you, and you just have what seems like aimless or pointless social interaction. It's really important. Then I go for a walk on the beach. Going for a walk on the beach or a swim in the ocean, it just cannot be understated how important the walk is. But I actually am very specific that I like to go walk by the ocean for obvious reasons. But I'll spell them out because I think people don't think about them. If you look at classical painting, I'm talking about the beautiful, beautiful paintings, not of, the last probably century, but I mean, well, I don't know. I'm kind of being unfair to some modern art, but if you look at the paintings and photographs that tend to do really, really, really well of the landscape, nature, they actually have a lot of common factors. There's a variety of habitats in the painting or photograph. There's a lot of open space. You can see a certain distance, but there's also some cover, like areas that you could hide or that animals could hide. And then often there's a water feature, river, lake, ocean, whatever. And there's also an elevation change typically. And the reason I spell this out isn't to give you a brief lesson in art appreciation. It's to help you understand that your brain naturally wants to be in those environments. People love to be able to be around that kind of scene. And so a lot of people tell me they don't really like taking walks. And I ask them where they're walking. Like I don't really feel particularly like taking a walk in the middle of Manhattan down a concrete sidewalk next to an asphalt road with cars screaming by and, crazy people around. What I like, if I was in New York, I would go to the East River or I would go to the West Side, and walk up and down the river because it's actually a very beautiful scene in many respects. So you just need to think about that. Why do I not like walking? Well, you probably don't like walking because you don't like where you're walking. So find a place that you can walk that you like to walk. My second simple technique is I sauna almost every day now. I didn't used to sauna almost every day, but the more I sauna, the better it makes me feel, the more relaxed I am. I'm also doing a little experiment to see how much radically increasing the amount of sauna that I'm doing changes my hair tissue levels of toxic metals, which I'll be retesting here in a week. And if you didn't watch my Monday masterclass on my personal labs, you should. It's full of interesting information. I've never seen any video like it, frankly, in my lifetime. And I'm going to keep doing those for the record. Make sure you're on the list so you get the notifications about when. So number 2, like I was saying, would be the sauna. I do 20 to 30 minutes a day. I don't recommend that for everyone. I use the Sauna Space for those of you interested in what product I use. I've recently added an EMR Tech Lite to that sauna for even more light therapy. And you can find out more about those over on my Substack if you want to read. And if you want to learn more about the Sauna Space, check out my interview with Brian Richards, the founder of Sauna Space, which is on my YouTube channel. So walking in the morning, and in the morning is the best time, I think, for the stress reduction walk, and right before breakfast or with coffee or whatever. And then the sauna. And then my third one, I actually think that the mundane, boring activities of life are the best opportunity for you to relax. People complain about having to wash dishes, having to cook meals, having to do laundry, having to do all this stuff. I totally get that. You're busy, you have a lot going on. But you can make a conscious choice to enjoy these simple, fundamental daily activities. And to make them more than just simple, fundamental daily activities, you have the opportunity to turn those into a time where you're just feeling grateful and positive for everything that you have. Yesterday we went to the gym and I had a minor, derm procedure on my shoulder for a suspicious looking mole the other week. And I'm not supposed to lift heavy weights with that shoulder because there's stitches in it still. And I was sitting there thinking about how frustrating it was that I couldn't lift heavy weights. A couple of weeks before that, actually, this is funny. I was listening to this podcast when I had the procedure done. It was a podcast by a guy named, I think it was Tyler Vargas Andrews, Tyler Vargas Andrews, I think. It was on the Sean Ryan show. And he talks, he's a guy who lost, I think he lost one leg and one arm in an explosion in Afghanistan when we were pulling out. And he actually, he's an amputee, double amputee. And I remember thinking back to this podcast and thinking it's so petty that I'm complaining about not being able to use my shoulder. I get to rehab my shoulder. I get to use my shoulder again in a week. So many people lose track in life of how grateful they should really feel every single day and really every moment of every day. There's so much difficulty and challenge and pain that most of you are not experiencing right now out there in the world. You have an incredible quality of life, even if you're struggling, even if you feel broke. There's people who have it so much worse than you, and it has to be a conscious choice of being positive, regardless of what's going on in your life, that has a massive impact on your wellness and your outlook on life. And those mundane tasks that we all have to do are one of the best opportunities to turn into a moment to be positive and grateful. And I think most people leave that on the table. They think they have to carve out a 20-minute meditation practice or go to the yoga studio or, listen to a guided meditation or whatever. And you can just do that same thing, get the same results or better when you're washing the dishes, when you're doing the laundry, when you're taking out the trash. So Shannon asks, I only have the EMR Tech Firewave. Is that enough or do I need a stronger version? I think I need to invest in a Sauna Space before another light. Shannon, the Firewave is great. It's good for red and infrared light therapy. I think that the Sauna Space is incredible. It does give you benefits you can't get with red and infrared light therapy, but red and infrared light therapy gives you benefits you can't get with the Sauna Space or sauna. So my next buy for you would be the Sauna Space, for sure.
And absolutely. I know I had some. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I would just say what's interesting about this question is you asked me, is that enough? And the interesting question about or thing about this question, right, is that I'll be blunt. If I was just interested in selling you a Sauna Space as an affiliate for Sauna Space, which I am, of course I would say, no, you need more, right? One of the things we really hammer home in our coaching programs is you can drive your car as hard and as fast as you want. And we are here to help you understand all the bells and whistles and all the tools and all the features of the car that is your physical body. But we're also very mindful of the fact there's only so many hours in the day. There's only so many, dollars in your bank account. There's only so much, credit you can get on your credit card. What's often more important than this idea of, well, what else do I need to do? What else do I need to do? Is what do I need to do that I'm not already doing? Right? We see this all the time. And so it's very important to understand that you can always be doing more. But before you add more and buy more stuff, are you already doing all of the things that really matter? And making sure that people are doing them the way that they need to do them is a big part of what the coaching is about, because we've had so many people come through who are breathwork coaches or they're health coaches or they're healthcare practitioners, and they're not doing the stuff that really matters just as much as sauna. And yes, we could tell them to go out and buy another sauna or a sauna, but they're better served by us telling them, look, you want the sauna, it looks cool, it'll be fun, get it when you can, but before you jump to doing that, make sure you're doing all the other fundamentals first.
Well, and a lot of things, it's like maybe they're doing things that aren't great. A lot of times getting people to actually stop. Like I compare it to being stuck in quicksand.
Yes.
And you get people that are in a really bad place health-wise, and they're like, I've got to be able to do more. I got to be able to do more. And sometimes the answer is just stop doing everything. Like just, like stop. Like when you're stuck in quicksand, the best thing you can do is stop struggling. Right. So that's just kind of one of those things. And of course, it's starting to rain here in Florida.
Well, Jim, I think this is a great stopping point.
Okay.
Thanks everyone for tuning in. Check out and make sure you're on the stillmanwellness.com email list. It's very easy. Just go to stillmanwellness.com, sign up, etc. My Monday masterclass again was check out my personal labs. That's over on YouTube. That's that. Take care, everyone. Have a great day. Don't forget to get outside.